is football. Football
American
is
football
America.
football is America. If you don't like it, you can kiss your candy ass.
For the moment in time. I'm giving 10.
Oh my God.
No!
You love this.
It's 30 to 27. Chiefs win. Chiefs win 30 to 20.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. Here we go, baby. Broncos, Jags. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Let me see here. Let's get this situated. First off, the lights too much. Get this. We'll take it down a little bit. Move this bottle of water. We got our coffee. We got the football when things get crazy. And we're ready to go. This is big, man. Jags fans have been talking shit all week. And I'm not sure why. I kind of took offense to it because I grew up in Jacksonville. I've been to more Jags games than I have Bronco games. I've never rooted against the Jags because they've never been a threat to the Broncos. You know, it's just like, sure, you know, they're the team that it's almost like I was rooting for them to become a legitimate franchise my whole childhood, if that makes sense. And you know, now I'm in this situation where like Jags fans are talking shit to me, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I've been honored on the Jacksonville Jaguars football field as the veteran of the game. Don't put me in this, but since you want to, we can do this. So Jacksonville starts with the ball, a quick 3-and-out. They're going to pitch it here, and Hufanga is going to make sure that that's a gain of 0. Cam Little made a field goal almost. It was literally inches short from 75 yards. He nailed a 73-yarder with plenty to go. 73 yards. Guys, the record's going to be broken today. And it may never be broken in the rest of my life if one of these field goals goes through. Here's pressure right away up the middle. And wow, that is a big-time play by Jonah Ellis. ETN looked like he was going to pick up 10 or more, but Jonah Ellis able to shed his block and make the tackle. My dude said he put money on the Broncos today. Hell yeah. You're coming around. I like it. Dude, that's why I didn't even put the Jags into hate categories, because they did that for you. Yeah, they're fans, man. I don't get it. But you know what? We're going to take care of it. 3rd down, 3rd and 8. Lawrence trying to run, sack, lunge, his second sack in the first 2 drives of the game. The Jags have not even gotten a first down in this game. John Franklin Myers. Look at this. Everybody talks about the pass rush that Denver provides with Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper, but it seems like they forget Zach Allen has led the NFL in quarterback hits and quarterback pressures for the last 2 years. John Franklin Myers, another guy that gets after the quarterback. Jaquan McMillan, our nickel corner, may be the most underrated player on this entire defense. I said when the season started, this was going to be one of those historical defenses like the 2015 Broncos, the 2000 Ravens, the 2025 Broncos. They're going to be historical, but in order to do that, you have to win a Super Bowl. And I think this is the team that can do it. And it's really exciting. Bo Nix is going to be a problem for a long time, and I think people are starting to catch on. But this is definitely one of those games where it's like you beat the Packers and then you beat the Jaguars. By the way, everybody's giving the Jaguars like their flowers. Like they've won 5 in a row. Go look at their schedule. Now, I understand they're still opponents, but go look at their schedule. Just take a look at it. I made this case when we did our AFC South predictions. I picked Jacksonville to win their division, and I said Houston would have the better team, but Jacksonville would win their division because of the difference in strength of schedule. Houston has had a gauntlet. I mean, it has been so difficult. And I said if Houston doesn't start off fast, Jacksonville's going to win the division, and Houston started off 0-3, and it was pretty much, in my opinion, a wrap since then. Junkins has a broken leg. Minshew appeared to have torn ACL. I saw that. And I heard that Minshew, I heard it was confirmed that he tore his ACL on, I think it was Red Zone. Apparently didn't lay it down like I thought I did last night. That's why not? Why do you say that? Here's the one thing, you guys, in Bronco fans, you might not know this. You might be wondering what changed when we got on the 11-game win streak. Well, 11 weeks ago, I bought this jersey, and I won, and we've won every game since I've worn this. So I just refuse to take it off. I refuse to take it off. The Chargers are looking like a really difficult team. Here we go. 1st and 10. Bo Nix and the Broncos. Handoff. Jaquan. Go! Go! Yes! In a big run right out of the gate by Jaleel McLaughlin. So much for the best run defense in the NFL. Look at these lanes. Look at that. Was that a face mask at the end? Looks like he swung him down. Here we go. They're going quick. Bo Nix, quick pass, firing. Oh, he dropped it. That's the second drop in the first 2 series. That one by Nate Adkins and the last one by RJ Harvey. Guys got to start catching these damn footballs. Come on. And that's why the people look at quarterback, completion percentage and all of that. We lead the NFL in drops. Go. There we go. A 9-yard gain by Jaleel McLaughlin. And now Jaleel McLaughlin saying he's got to come out. they try a QB sneak, and they're going to mark it a little less than a yard short. Sean Payton's going for it. Here we go. 4th and inches. I don't know if he got it. Let's see where they mark it. They're marking it on the line. They're first down. First down. Wow. RJ Harvey should have stayed inside. Damn it! Snap the fucking ball! Why does it take that long to snap the damn ball? Obviously, he's not sure they got it. That should have been an immediate hurry. Come on. All right. I don't know if Jacksonville's going to win this challenge, but I think Denver should have ran. Ginger, what happened that made you say that you didn't do a good job? I think Ben Johnson tries too hard to play a character. Change my mind. Broncos rocking the all orange today. The navy blue socks with the navy helmets. They look hard. These tell me these don't go hard. Look at these. Woo! Ruling on the field stands as called. Here we go. 1st and 10, Bo under center. He's going to fake the handoff. Looking, firing downfield. Caught! Cortland Sutton. I think I was just premature on my evaluation. She woke up and I woke up and come back over. Maybe I did I think you did. I think you did. If I know you, you did. 1st and 10. Bo taking a shot, caught. Sutton was one-on-one, arguably being held. It doesn't matter. I'm bigger than you. Look at him. Look at him. Pull me. Take my arm. I don't care. Look at that. Clear holding. Doesn't matter. Little bro. Andy got hurt. Not celebrating the hurt, but I don't know why I said that. Adrenaline. Goff sacked on opening drive and a quick 3-and-out for the Detroit Lions. Kyle Pitts with an early catch. Justin Jefferson finished with 14 points today. 85 receiving yards on 6 catches. All right. Maybe I will. Maybe I will start him next week. Mike Evans, 5 catches, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Going against Carolina. Not the best matchup defensively for Mike Evans. But next week, he will be going. Who's he going against next week? I think Tampa's got an easy game next week. I think it's the Jets, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Week 17. Week 17. No, Tampa plays Miami. Mike Evans is going to eat. Eat, I tell you. 11-game winning streak. Second longest. 13 teams have won 12 straight in a season. 9 of 13 of those advanced to the Super Bowl. 5 of them won the Super Bowl. You don't accidentally win 11 in a row. Mile high momentum since October 31st. The Avalanche 19-1, best in hockey. The Nuggets 17-6, fourth best in NBA. Denver 6-0, best in NFL. Denver, God, I love you. I love the city. I love the people. I love the sports teams. Harvey trying to run, but only picks up 1. I think early in this game, Jaleel McLaughlin is clearly the hot hand. And Jinja, you remember last week when I told you bet on Marvin Mims scoring a touchdown because he returned a punt in the Raiders game and the Broncos had an emergency staff meeting talking about getting Mims more involved in the offense. So I said, look at Mims touchdowns plus 650, bet it. Well, Mims didn't have a touchdown, but you know who did? 2nd and 9. Mims going deep. What is with this fucking camera? Jesus. That was the worst camera work I've ever seen. They couldn't even find the ball. They were like zooming out and it was like frantically looking. It was an awful moment for Fox. Anyway, Bandy had a touchdown. And they asked Sean about it because it was his first career touchdown. He goes, well, Bandy wasn't even supposed to be on the field. That play was drawn up for Marvin Mims, but Mims couldn't find his helmet. So Bandy went in, and Mims would have scored. And speaking of, here's Mims right now, 3rd and 9, and they throw it to Mims. It's 4th and 6. And we're going to get a field goal here from Will Lutz. And now that fourth down gamble should hopefully result in a 44-yard field goal being good. Snap, hold, kick. He missed it. I don't know why I had a feeling that was going to fucking happen. I don't know why I knew that was going to happen. I had it. It's so weird. Smoking them right trees up there. Absolutely. Steelers deep in line territory. Look at this. Kenneth Gainwell's about to score. That's my guess. Here we go. Handoff. ETN gets a yard, maybe. God, my fucking leg is killing me. Whoa. Rogers sacked for a loss of 9. Oh, God. Aiden Hutchinson, question mark? Here we go, 2nd and 9. Man, the screen is shaking right now. Do you have the game on, Jinja? Is your local TV incomplete? What a jump off the line. Come, please. It's 3rd down. Here we go, 3rd down. Looking, trying to get somewhere. Running. Lawrence firing. Caught. Too much time. Too much time. You know, I always say this, though. Look at the miracle. The amount of things that had to go just perfectly right for that play to happen. I don't get mad at that because you're not going to get a ton of those in a game. Here we go. Trevor Lawrence looking, firing. Incomplete. Wow. Riley Moss on him like glue. Incomplete. Look at this coverage. Riley Moss thrown at the 2nd most times. Passes defended, 4th most in the league. Quarterbacks completion percentage, the lowest in the NFL when targeting Riley Moss. Here's a run for ETN, and that's going to be a gain of 0, 3rd and 10. The running game has not been there. Used to want to take my money. I love it, dude. This crowd is electric. This might be like the most hype I've seen them. Look at it. 3. I don't know if he's going to get the snap off. 2, 1, 0. I don't know if he got it off. Oh. They're going to give Jacksonville. PJ Locke didn't hear the whistle, and the announcer just said, I don't know how anyone can hear anything in the stadium right now. It's the noise. PJ Locke hit Trevor Lawrence. The play was dead. Trevor was sitting there, and PJ Locke just rocked him. And then a ref threw a flag, and PJ Locke is like, look, I didn't hear a flag. I didn't hear a whistle. They're going to say these are offsetting. That's ridiculous. They just gave Jacksonville a first down because of that. On 3rd and long. They're saying, he's like, you can't even hear the whistle. Jinja, you are missing one hell of it. This game is insane. You've got to find a way to get this game. I'm going to send you a website. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you ahead of time the only way to get it to work, you have to click on the game. It's going to open a phony tab. Close it. Click the game again. It's going to open a phony tab. Close it. Click the game again. This time it's going to open another window. This is where you're going to actually see the game, and there's going to be a play button. Click the play button. It's going to open a phony tab. Close it. Click the play button. Opens a phony tab. Close it. The third time you click the play button, the game will start. Here we go. 2nd and 6. Trevor rolling out. Pressure coming. And he's going to run it and dive for a first down. There you go. First and 10. Once again, a missed field goal. A flag. Lawrence trying to run. This is going to be holding on Jacksonville. And now if Denver gets a sack, well, they have Cam Little. There's no taking him out. I'm going to show you. I'm going to screen record it. I don't know why he declined it. I think it's because he knows Cam Little's range isn't a factor. Okay, Jinja, I just sent you a video. I just sent you a video on how you get the game to work. 3rd and 3, Trevor going Touchdown. That's all right. That took miracle after miracle after miracle. Yeah. You only get so many of those miracles per game. They got a lot of them on that drive. See, Detroit has the ball right now in Pittsburgh territory, and David Montgomery with a big run into the red zone. All right. Here we go. 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Bo Nix, the Broncos, they've had the ball twice. First time they had a missed field goal, or second drive they had a missed field goal. First drive, RJ Harvey dropped the ball, ended the drive with the Garrett Bowles penalty for holding. They'll be all right, but hopefully we're not going to miss field goals all day. Wide open. There it is. Evan Ingram. And I fucking knew it. I took Evan Ingram to score a touchdown and has 70 yards, and he just had, 50 right there? 34-yard pitching catch. All right. Bathroom break. Be right back. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Five carries, 0 yards. We got the touchdown to Cortland Sutton. I saw it on my phone. Ooh. I had to run to the corner gas station to get Mary some milk. I watched it on my phone. And as I was checking out, Cortland Sutton caught the touchdown, and I do it. It's like, yeah! And everybody in the store was like, what the hell? Hey, buddy. Here we go, 3rd and 15. Here we go. Pressure, sack, lunch. Good boy, Woody. Woo! You stoner. Are you on your CBD gummies? Are you on your CBD gummies? Patrick McCary is down. Huh. Holy crap. Amari and Hampton, who, damn, I shouldn't have pulled Michael Wilson. I shouldn't have pulled Michael Wilson. I pulled him out for Amari and Hampton because Marvin Harrison Jr. was cleared. Dude, I need Jamison Williams to get a fucking target. Marion Hampton ended up getting me 16.5 points, which is respectable. Jefferson would have been the other person there. I need Jamison Williams to do something, man. I need Kyle Pitts to get something as well. Kyle Pitts, Jamison Williams, Genty's got 1 point. This guy's last player is playing right now, and it's Genty. And Genty has 1 point. I have Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and the 49ers defense. If I win this week, I am guaranteed 350 because second place gets 350. Oh, I could see this game getting out of hand. Marvin Mims returns this punt. This is going to be returned from the 25. And Mims, oh, should have kept going. I thought if he kept going, trying to get the corner on the other side of the field, he could have got around. This season, the Broncos' 11 come from behind wins ties most in NFL history. the 2024 Chiefs won that award last year. I mean, it's kind of a stupid stat because, like, if Denver wins this game, they consider it a come from behind win because Jacksonville scored first. You know what I mean? Like, is that really a come from behind win when there's 4 minutes in the first quarter and it's 7-0? Here we go. Marvin Mims in the middle of the field down to the 40. 26 yards to Mims. They're playing zone defense, and they're like, all right, well, we're going to get Marvin Mims going. Find those little pockets and sit down, and Marvin Mims, super explosive in space. Here we go. Bo Nix looking to pass, looking, firing. And he throws this one away. And Bo Nix telling his wide receiver something. Yeah, somebody did the wrong thing, and you could tell Bo was not happy about it. True point, Jinja. Here we go, 2nd and 10, and Pat Bryant comes up with the catch. That's going to bring up 3rd and 3. Oh, man, I wish somebody would just take a saw to my leg. And Patrick McCary can't even walk field like me right now. 3rd and 2, don't do it. I knew they were going to do that. Why the fuck did you do that? 3rd and 2, and they run the ball from shotgun. It's just like so obvious. Oh my god. Just keep throwing the ball. I only want this team running the ball. Now they're going to try from 54. He missed from 44, so why not? Maybe this will get him out of his rut. Right down the middle. Broncos take the lead, 7-10. But I mean, it is something to play from behind, even if it's just that. And nothing in the first quarter mentally. Yeah, first quarter is just a little too soon. Man, I need a pack of smokes. I thought I had a liner in here. Oh, here. Diamonds in my wrist. The Lions in the red zone. Jamison Williams with a catch. Awesome. Ooh, Kyle Pitts with. Is that one catch? Two targets, one reception, 2 points. Jahmyr Gibbs dropped the ball on 2nd and 11. Now it's 3rd and 11. Same, Ginge. Same. Don't let him. Oh, come on. DJ Dallas. He looks like. Is that muscle or is that RJ Harvey type body? No. He's just a big boy. This is going to be a throw to ETN. Here we go. Batted down at the line. Look at that. That's Q Robinson, our 7th round draft pick out of Alabama. That's how you get a team like this. You draft well. These are all draft picks all over the field. This is a new offensive line now for Jacksonville. Short. Patrick Surtain able to knock Brian Thomas Jr. out of bounds. And now it's 3rd and 1. Look for Tim Patrick to have a revenge game today. Evan Ingram went from Jacksonville to the Broncos. Tim Patrick, Bronco, we pay him a big contract, tears his MCL out for a year, comes back, tears his ACL, and then gets healthy finally, and then the Broncos move off of him. This is definitely personal for Tim Patrick. Sean said that he loves Tim Patrick, so it's not like there's animosity there, but like as a player in the NFL, you have to make these things personal. And I'm sure Tim Patrick's chomping at the bit to just get an opportunity to come into this game and make a play. And Evan Ingram's already made his name said, I can think a couple times, 2 catches, one of them for 35, 36 yards. Play fake, Trevor looking deep, and Strange catches it to the 35. I think if Denver if they can get a stop here and score quick, they may be able to get the ball back and try to score one more time. And then the second half, they would get the ball back. So we'll see how that plays out for them. 1st and 10. Good tackle. That's Riley Moss. That's an amazing open field tackle. 2nd and 11. Look at the camera shaking. Jacksonville really said they had a better home field advantage than us. That's so cute. It's going to be a pitch. Short. Almost a touchdown. That's a high effort play. Look at Zach Allen. Zach Allen single-handedly saved a touchdown on that play. Alex Singleton is responsible for it. That's a big-time stop. Second and goal. Such a weird quote. Hangs his hat on. Like, you can hang your hat on anything. It's not like you need something very reliable to hang your hat on. How is that not a push-off? That's such fucking horse shit. Strange literally was being covered by PJ Locke. He pushes PJ Locke to get separation, and it's so obvious. How is this not blatantly obvious right here? Get off me. Okay, so we're not calling that? Okay. These stupid-ass announcers don't even bring up obvious controversial situations because the NFL's got them by the fucking ball sack. Unbelievable. Have some fucking nuts. Right, we did this last week with the Packers. We'll be fine. How is that not a push-up? I'm still watching this play. Like, what? Here we go. Unbelievable. Marvin Mims. I think it's the gist of the hang your hat on. Like, if you can trust something to hang your hat on, it's trustworthy enough. Don't ask me, but I think that's what it is. Right. No, I get that part, but I'm saying, like, your hat is not it's not very heavy. So, like, I can hang my hat on my microphone. I would think it would be like something that's heavy, like my TV, right? It was like, oh, it's 86 inches. All right, it's very valuable. I'm not gonna put that on something that can't, handle that. That would be like, I would get that, but like hang your hat on. I bet you hats probably used to be much more valuable, or a status. Were hats a status symbol in the 1800s? Yes, hats were significant status symbols in the 1800s, clearly associating with class and respectability, with elaborate styles. Hang your hat on means to rely or believe in something, stemming from the literal act of hanging your hat in a place to signify belonging or a temporary stay. With the phrase evolving in the 19th century in the United States to symbolize making a home or a commitment, contrasting with similar idioms like hanging your hat at the end of the day, talk through your hat. The idiom draws from the common practice of men wearing hats and hanging them upon entering a home, signaling they were settled in for a visit or a stay, establishing a temporary home. Okay. It means to place your trust, conviction, or reliance in it, as I can hang my hat on that unreliable story. They hang their hats on tourism for their economy. Hmm. Okay, here we go. First down. Jaleel McLaughlin, who I said should have been going all day, picks up 6. How about the heaters going out last night in the Bears and Packers game? Oh man, that game pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie, that game frustrated me so bad. I will say this. McLaughlin, there we go. The Bears are going to have to clean up some things. They need to work on getting their kicker on and off the field. Caleb Williams needs to be the leader of that whole process, because there was people watching him like lightly jog out the field, and then they lightly jog. And I'm like, if Caleb gets up and sprints, everyone sprints. He's got to know that. 3rd and 2 here. Bo, wide open. RJ Harvey. And RJ Harvey just trucked a staff member for Jacksonville. Here we go. Denver and shotgun. Look, if they score at the end of this half, they get the ball again. Bo Nix going deep. Incomplete. Denver actually won the coin toss and elected to defer. So they do have a chance to go up 24-14 if they score on their next two possessions. 24-14. Here we go. 2nd and 10. Bo Nix. Quick throw. That's Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin picks up 5 or 6. So 3rd and manageable coming up. And this is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. %, of the time this defense plays zone, and Bo Nix is going to tear this defense apart. Bo Nix is exceptionally well at throwing against zone defense. Kirk Cousins with only 200 passing yards. 89 passing yards. Aaron Rodgers with 51 passing yards. CJ Stroud with 40 passing yards. What is going on with quarterbacks? Hey, at least Bo Nix is on pace for 306 yards already. Jared Goff with 109 passing yards. Let's see that game. Looks like somebody just scored. Brendan Perna just released a really interesting video on how Tony Romo went from like a fan favorite to the most hated commentator in just 3 years. It's amazing when you look at Tony Romo. Two-minute warning should be over in Denver. Let me see broadcast. Look at this. This is Tony Romo in his broadcasting debut. That's Tony Romo in his broadcasting debut. It's 61 degrees in Denver. It was snowing in the mountains yesterday. That is Tony Romo. Here's a huge 3rd and 4. Ball snap. Bo rolling to his right, looking downfield, firing, and he dropped it. Pat Bryant drops the ball. This is Tony Romo now. How does that happen? How is that guy that guy? How does that happen in 3 years? Why are his hands so swollen? This isn't Photoshop. That is this guy in 3 years. That is unbelievable. Now Denver's going to play field position. I don't love the decision to punt there on 3rd and 4. How does it happen if you're rich and you're not doing meth? Well, even I think he would look better if he was doing meth, because at least he wouldn't be so swollen. You know what I mean? Like, that's got to be like heavy alcoholism, because alcohol inflames your body. It's got to be like bad plastic surgery and then too much Botox, like a combination of those 3 things, and then a weird tanning bed membership and sleep deprivation. All 5 of those things at the same time equal that. Second and 6, fakes the handoff. Jonathan Cooper getting in. Jacoby Myers over the middle, caught. I didn't notice the hands. I just noticed his face. He looks atrocious. Dude, you're inside on how this man looks. You're inside on how this. That's way too clean, though. I would have never thought of that. So a cheating spouse or a divorce, probably. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Lawrence. And it skips off the turf. It also stops the clock, which means Denver has 2 timeouts. Second and 10. Here we go. Short. 3rd and 1. Oh, they're going to give him a first down. Tim Patrick's on the field. Patrick Surtain lined up on Tim Patrick. They're going to run it. So they're just trying to kick a field goal. "12 seconds left. Clock stopped." First and 10. Sadie says, "Hey, what's up, Sadie?" The flags and or not flags of me, just like leaving my phone for this woman clearly and her not going through it. Yeah, I'll tell you this. Mary has never one time gone through my phone, and I've never gone through her phone. But here's the thing. I've heard this my whole life, but it's so real. Like when you I when you feel like, hey, I mean, there's nothing out there that's gonna make her happier, and it's like I know that she's not looking, I'm not looking. You just reach a level of maturity where you're like, the games are, they're over. You know, I'm committed to you, you're committed to me. It's like we don't have time for that bullshit. Nobody has time for that bullshit. So it's just, yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine somebody going through my phone, like looking for something. I mean, that would be so odd. It would be like, what are you looking for? And then it opens a whole nother can of worms because it's like, oh, so you don't trust me. You think I would hide something from you. And once that is like, once the you don't trust me is revealed in a relationship, then it's like, geez, I might as well, it's like that quote, treat a man as he is, he will remain as he is. Treat a man as what he can become, he will become it. If you treat somebody like a lying cheater for long enough, guess what they'll become? A lying cheater. And if you're thinking that someone is cheating and you're paranoid about it, it shows that you're obviously lying and cheating, because why would you even be thinking about this unless it was on your mind? And why would it be on your mind unless you live in a world where cheating is so prevalent that you think about it every day? So it's like, man, not only do you discover that they don't trust you, but you also discover that they're cheating on you. And it's just like, I mean, that's like a one-way ticket out of a relationship. But if she's looking elsewhere, then that's not the 14 you, in my opinion. Like, in that sense, I guess not you. Yeah, dude, I'm glad this woman is there with me right now. It's cool. Yeah, and that's kind of how, my last relationship was. It was more of like a bridge. I was going through a lot of issues with my son and my ex-wife and all the lies and slander. And, you know, I felt like that relationship played a really good role. Like, it did a lot for my mental health. You know, it, 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 it wasn't like supposed to be forever, but for what it was when it was in that timeline of my life, it was necessary. But I'm glad that that ultimately ended because it allowed me to meet Mary, and it's like, wow, I got lucky. I got lucky that one ended. I'm lucky that she was a little cheating whore. Just kidding. No, I'm actually not. That's the crazy part. I got lucky. Yes, Jameson Williams finally 3 catches for 33 yards, and also Kyle Pitts now with 3 catches for 25 yards. All right. Here here is, yeah, huh? The Broncos game. This is the headlines. Here we go. Week 16 headlines. 1 second. What? All right. Had to help out with the baby. Damn, this playoff commercial goes hard. They're showing the Colts, the Lions, the Niners, the Bucks, the Patriots. Wow. They had one clip of Denver. You would think Denver's just not a big market team. Here's the commercial. I'm gonna get a picture of this. Damn it. Come on. There we go. There we go. I didn't even see your face down there. DK Metcalf threw a punch at a fan in the stands. Just showing some love to your other channel. Appreciate that. That's hilarious. I didn't even see your face down there. We got little E in the chat. What's up, little E? And the one and only Crafty. Luckily, we're a team very comfortable being down 7 to start the second half. Actually, the Packers game, I think we were down 3 at halftime, and then they scored a touchdown on the opening drive, and we were down 13. We're gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gonna be all right. And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the fake cut. CJ Stroud. Is he gonna throw the ball today? This is my issue with the Texans. The Texans want to talk about being elite. How's 82 passing yards in the first half against the Raiders sound? Does that sound elite? I don't think that sounds very elite. Here we go. Defense has got to tighten up in the second half. But look, this was no different than Green Bay. The Packers were having their way with us in the first half, and we were able to shut Jordan Love down completely in the second half of that game. I just want this win so bad. You guys have no idea how bad I want this one. There's just been so many fans talking shit this week. I need this one. We got Tyler Moss in the chat. What are you watching it on? I'm watching it on YouTube TV. Bo Nix first play, the second half's a handoff. And it's going to be a 2-yard gain from R.J. Harvey. I want to see more Jaleel McLaughlin. Jaleel McLaughlin's having more success. He's got 4 carries for 33 yards. McLaughlin. We're just not seeing that type of explosiveness from R.J. Harvey. Here's Bo Nix under center, 2nd and 9. He's going to fake the handoff, standing in the pocket, looking. Now he's going to take off, and it's going to be back to the line of scrimmage. A flag is down in the secondary. This may be a good thing for the Broncos. Yep, it's going to be holding by the defense. So that's going to be an automatic first down for the Broncos. And that's a big penalty because it was about to be 3rd and 9. And instead it's first in a fresh set of downs. An awkward tackle, but Bo Nix is okay. He went down weird, but he's fine. Here we go. Bo Nix looking to throw. Quick throw. Complete. Gain of 5. Kenneth Gainwell caught a pass while lying on his back and ran it in for a TD. I told, Kenneth Gainwell was one of the guys yesterday that when I did my fantasy episode, they were asking me if should I start, and I said yes. He's had 7 to 8 targets a game for the last 4 games pretty much. Bo Nix rolling to his right, firing, and caught Lil Jordan Humphrey, who had an amazing interview with one of the cornerbacks for the Carolina Panthers. And well, Aaron Rodgers has his passing yards up to 141. CJ Stroud still hanging around 80 passing yards. Helmet to helmet adds 15 yards. And what was I doing? Kenneth Gainwell. I forgot. Must not have been that important. Jacoby Brissett now 128 passing yards. Kirk Cousins now has 115. It's 16-16. See if Trey McBride can score. He's still without a touchdown. Drake London still without a touchdown. Jameson Williams still without a touchdown. Here we go. Bo Nix. He's going to hand it off. There's R.J. Harvey, and he stays on his feet. Is he going to get the edge to the 10? Down. Touchdown! Did he lose the ball? Did he control the ball? They're calling it a touchdown. Wow. Wow. RJ Harvey, a 38-yard rushing touchdown. I thought he might have lost the ball. Wow. What a play. They tried to punch the ball out and it cost them a touchdown. See, that's the difference between being a fluky good defense and being the real deal. Wow. Wow. That was amazing. That was amazing. And the Broncos, man, the resilience down, and they come out and they punch Jacksonville in the mouth. And you know, every single week when you play the Broncos, one thing's for sure: win or lose, you know it's going to go 10 rounds. It's going the distance. There is no like, oh, we're ahead and this game's over. This is a team that we haven't seen them lose a game in their last 11 that they've been down in. RJ Harvey getting the touchdown here. That was massive. That was massive. Here is the crowd going absolutely bananas. Look at that. A thing of beauty. A thing of beauty. And the Denver Broncos are back on top against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their first possession in the second half is a 5-play, I believe, like 80-yard drive. And remember, this was all set up because of a holding penalty by Jacksonville defensively. On 2nd and 9, they pretty much sacked Bo Nix. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but it's setting up 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 10. And that was on the opening drive. But because of the holding penalty, it's an automatic first down. The next play, they throw it to Lil Jordan Humphrey. He catches the ball. He gets rocked, helmet to helmet, tacks on 15. And then the next play, they give it to RJ Harvey, and he scores the touchdown. So a really good opening drive for the Broncos. And Jacksonville defensively, they get the penalty that allows the touchdown, but they also, on the RJ Harvey touchdown, they're trying to punch the ball out, and it cost them a 38-yard touchdown instead of just trying to tackle him. So here we go. Denver kicks it off to Jacksonville. And Jacksonville's gonna, oh, he got rocked. He got rocked. My goodness. He got crushed. Absolutely crushed. And Denver's got the energy back on their side. Never truly lost it, but they're rocking 10 out of 10 right now. 1st and 10, and Denver can smell blood. Trevor Lawrence under center. We'll see if they try to establish the running game to take the crowd out of it. They'll pitch it, and he's going to pick up 1 yard. Running game really hasn't been there today outside of one run. for ETN. Crazy. Gosh, hopefully that helps. My leg is killing me. 2nd and 8. Here we go. And a quick throw, and he's short. Riley Moss tackles him. The Steelers with the Gainwell Tutty. He was laying down. He was able to get back up and score. If the Steelers scored in the opening drive in the second half, they could possibly win the game with momentum. Absolutely, Lily. Got that cardio in, homie. She laying here depleted. Let's fucking go. Smell it and attack. Here we go. 3rd and 1. We got the screen shaking. They're going to try, and they're going to keep it with Lawrence, and he's going to be able to pick up the first down. Trevor Lawrence just tucking the ball there. The run would not have gotten the first down, but unfortunately, Jonathan Cooper crashes in, and Trevor Lawrence pulls it, and Jonathan Cooper's the chasing ghost. Here we go. 1st and 10. Jacksonville at the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line. 2 seconds, 1 second, 0, and it just gets snapped. Pressure coming, and it's going to be caught, and then ETN gets tackled. Lawrence got blasted. The Broncos are getting a penalty for hitting Trevor Lawrence. How? How is there a penalty? Personal foul? Roughing the passer? He hit him as he was throwing it. What the fuck? How? That is, dude, what are they doing? How is that roughing the passer? You want him to tackle him. He doesn't even know that he threw the ball. How do you play defense like this? That is impossible. You want him to sack the quarterback but not sack him that hard? Is that even a real thing? Bullshit. Jacksonville's getting every opportunity. That is terrible. Here we go. Trevor Lawrence, 2nd and 9, looking to throw. And it's batted down by Talanoa Hufanga. Hufanga timed it perfectly. Trevor Lawrence is bitching. He wants another flag. He's not satisfied with the bullshit flag he just got. Where is there a... Look at this. This was the crowd going absolutely bananas right now. Here we go. How can they hear? How does he get that open? That's got to be a pick play. There's... How does that happen? Why is nobody going out with him? Oh, Sean Payton just went up to Vance Joseph and went, I'm saying like it was aggressive. I don't know what he said. Tim Patrick with his first catch today. I said this was a revenge game for Tim Patrick. Trevor Lawrence looking, firing. Oh, he took a huge hit by Singleton. Trevor Lawrence, 2 passing touchdowns, 169 yards, 65 passer rating under pressure today. Here we go. Ball snap. Pressure coming. Lawrence throwing it. Incomplete. A flag on that? How is there a flag on that? They are calling a flag on every. How is that even catchable ball? The ball was out of the end zone. You can't have a flag on an uncatchable ball. Pass interference. Where? He's not restricting him. And now Jahdae Barron's being pulled off the defense. Riley Moss off the field. Jahdae Barron off the field. Jaquan McMillan off the field. Denver going big and heavy here. Lawrence is going to run it in himself. Penalty after penalty after penalty. Got to stop with the. I mean, I don't even know how to say stop with penalties when these penalties being called are just brutal. They're questionable at best, and I don't know if that's going to keep happening. But they're going to have to overcome them. Too many times there's a wide receiver open and there's nobody within 10 yards. And then that is only happening on 3rd and long. Like, they're running the ball, it's not there. They try to throw a dump off or a screen, it gets blown up at the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and long, and then either a wide receiver emerges open with nobody within 10 yards or they got a penalty. And that was the way that whole drive went. Like, that whole drive, it was like, okay, we just need to make one play and they're punting it. From the very beginning, this was a 3-and-out type of drive, and they got a flag for roughing the passer when Trevor Lawrence got hit as he was throwing the ball. It's unbelievable. None of this happens if that roughing the passer call doesn't happen to extend the drive. It just, I don't know what you want a defender to do. Like, Trevor Lawrence has the ball in his hand when he hits him. As he's hitting him, Trevor gets rid of the ball and gets tackled. I mean, how is the defender supposed to know, like, oh, okay, I'm in the middle of tackling him, my head's down because it can't be up because I don't want to get helmet to helmet. So I have my head down so I can't see, but he had the ball when I started tackling him, and I'm supposed to know that he got rid of the ball. I don't know what you're supposed to do, and I don't think it's fair for a defense to be like, there needs to be a path where they can be successful. I don't know how you can expect defenders to play super hard and yet avoid something like that. Kyle wants to milk the hype from that TD so much he refuses to update the scoreboard. Literally a foot for ahead. I don't know if I'm going homo. Here we go. Bo Nix throwing it to RJ Harvey to midfield. Fuck the Jags. Literally a foot for ahead. That's so funny. If Lions lose tonight, they're eliminated from the playoffs. Yeah, because even if the Lions even if the Bears lost their next two going into this week before the Bears played, even if they lost to the Packers and lost last week, flea flicker, trick play, going deep, caught. Oh, he dropped it at the way end. Sutton had it. Oh, how does that ball pop out? Sutton has the ball. He didn't even knock it out. It was when he hit the ground. 2nd and 10. Bo Nix looking. Mims. And he's going to lose 5. It was just a bad choice. You got a guy wide open. Throw it to Troy Franklin. It's going to be 3rd and 13 instead of 3rd and 14. Here we go. Bo Nix looking. Oh my God. Now you're asking the defense to go back on the field. And Bronco fans are leaving the stadium. No, there's just two guys. I think they're going to the bathroom. Oh my God. We are not getting any bounces our way. This ball bounced on the line and went backwards. It was nearly perfect. Jacksonville gets a huge break. Show us the. Oh my God. I'm telling you, it is literally a fucking inch from being downed at the one. God. On third and long is when you want your guy to just be 20 yards wide open. 3 days. I don't get it. They shit the bed on the drive then. Hello. What's up, Super TYT? W Broncos. I'm from Denver. Let's go, baby. Let's go. This game is pissing me off. I don't know about the Lions, but Lions loss secures the Bears a playoff threat. Yeah, the Lions would be out. They would need so much help. What I was trying to say was going into week 16, before any games were played, the Lions could have won their next 2 games. And the Bears could have lost their next 2 games. And the Lions still would have needed to beat the Bears week 18 to get into the playoffs. So from that measure, like, the Bears winning against the Packers means the Lions have to win out. And yeah, they can't. They really can't lose. Wow. And Kyle Pitts must have had a touchdown. Yep. Let's go. Let's go. Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers, CJ Stroud going against the Raiders, tied 13-13 with less than 100 passing yards. How ass can the Raiders be? I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Here we go. 6 minutes. Trevor under center. And they're going to hand it off. And it's going to be a gain of 1. It took a miracle on the first touchdown, a push off on the second touchdown, and then that touchdown was set up by roughing the passer. Come on. Third down. I don't know how much time they have. 8, 7, 6, 5. Here we go. Trevor trying to throw it quick, and they missed him. They got him down at the 10 at least. I thought he was going to score. Growing my shit out and getting me dreaded. when my kid grows up, I'm roaming the fucking country. I've made it a point now. And you're like, get out of your hometown and do something else. Like I got to. I want that so bad. Well, I didn't mean it in a mean way. I wasn't talking about you. I just, I was just saying in general. Here we go. First and goal. Who's out there? Why is he out there? Of course. Why the fuck do you not notice that? I'm watching the game, and as soon as he snaps the ball, ETN runs out, and there's no fucking body out there. And of course, Jade Barron is watching him. Get the fuck over there. Thank you. I'll take it. No thanks. How does Riley Moss and Hufanga both miss that tackle? Jade Barron needs to be on the fucking bench. He's having a bad day, whatever it is. I don't want to see it anymore. And this was the first one. Like, second touchdown. How is this not PI?
Touchdown Jacksonville.
How is this not a push-off?
Lawrence looking for Strange to the end zone, diving catch, touchdown Jacksonville. To the end zone, Strange to the for Strange to the end zone.
That's bullshit, dude. We're gonna have to overcome. Goff safety? Don't tell Sadie. Your secret's safe with me, Jinja. All right, here we go. Marvin Mims returning this to the 31. And we got a penalty. And they call us for holding on the return. Here we go. Denver on the ground. Looks like they picked up 5 right there. It's going to be a 4-yard gain. Bo, shotgun. Now, how is that not a flag? He literally hits Trotman 7 yards downfield. Even the announcer's like, "Oh, contact. That could have been a flag." How are these not getting called? If that's the way they're calling it, why is it only? Pat Bryan picks up the first down. If you're gonna look, I'm okay. If you're gonna call the game like that, call the game like that. But they haven't been calling the game like that. Here we go. 1st and 10. And it's going to be caught for a gain of 5. 6. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Denver fumbles on the snap. It's an RPO. So Bo Nix has the option to hand the ball off to McLaughlin or pull it. He's handing it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin thinks that Bo Nix is pulling it, possibly because Bo Nix is holding the ball too tightly. So both let go of the ball, and the Jaguars pick it up. You can't make this shit up. They picked the worst moment to forget how to play football. All right, ETN stuff. That's good. Here we go. Trevor, quick throw. Why Riley Moss, this same play every time, and Riley keeps missing the tackle. Look at this. What are you doing? That's his third time that they're throwing it to PJ Walker. And all he's got to do is make the tackle, and he misses it. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. I just don't even recognize this defense today. I don't even think it matters if they kick a field goal or score a touchdown here. I mean, either way, it's a 3-score game. Here we go. 1st and goal. Tackle. Lawrence decided to keep it. Hugh Robinson hits him. Loss of 5. Okay, it was considered a run, so not a sack. 2nd and goal from the 10. Lawrence looking to throw and caught for a gain of 1 or 2. So now it's 3rd down. Jacksonville's 4 for 4 in the red zone today. Denver had the best red zone defense in the NFL coming in today. Like I said, I don't recognize this defense today. I'm hoping at least we can get one good quarter out of them. And Jacksonville has to call timeout. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Lawrence, incomplete. Riley Moss, man. And Jacksonville's going to kick a field goal. Man, Trevor Lawrence is just seeing the field so well. I mean, if it weren't for Riley Moss batting that ball down, like, that's another touchdown. I don't know. All right, so if they can score a touchdown with in the next 4 minutes, if they can score a touchdown in the next 4 minutes, that would make it a 10-point game with 9 minutes left. If they could get a 3 and out, they'd probably get the ball back with like 7 minutes. They score a touchdown maybe with 5 minutes left in the game, down 3, and then they have all their timeouts. So look, if Denver can offensively score touchdowns and they can get at least 1 3 and out, that's what they need. Defensively, 1 3 and out. And Denver score on the ensuing drive, like, they can do this. Tyler Bidet. And you know what fucking sucks is that last touchdown was set up by an RPO where Bo Nix is giving it to McLaughlin, and McLaughlin drops the ball because he thinks Bo Nix is keeping it. And they just gave the Jags the ball. It wasn't even like, oh, Jacksonville made a great play and got it picked. Like, basically, Bo Nix snapped the ball and dropped it. And it's just frustrating because that was the worst time. Here we go. Bo Nix looking, stepping up into the pocket, and now running. Denver going quick here. Running no huddle. Here we go. They're going to hand it off to RJ Harvey, who's going to pick up a first down and get out of bounds. Clock continues to run. Come on. Fakes the handoff this time, rolling to the left. Nick's planting a foot, going deep downfield, and it's caught! Troy Franklin! That's exactly what they needed! It's 1st and goal. Let's go. You know you got to get down. Troy Franklin going to the inside, rolling out. This is a crazy throw. This is a crazy throw. You got 10 seconds. Come on. 10. Got to go. Quick throw. Pat Bryant. And Bryant is going to take it to the 3. Got to go quick. Come on. Come on. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Let's go. Got to go. Got to go. Got to go. Come on. Move your ass. Come on. Get the fucking play out. Here we go. Nick's looking. Oh my gosh. Cortland Sutton would have had the touchdown. That. Oh my God. And that, how is that not a penalty? He tackles him. He tackled him on the slant. I don't understand that. 3rd and goal. Nick stepping up into the pocket, firing. Oh my God. Cortland. 4th and goal. You need the field goal anyway. Oh my God. How did Cortland drop this? Man. All right. Like I said, it was crucial that Denver made this a 2-possession game with 10 minutes left, and they were able to do it with 10:44 left. You very well could be right, brother Kyle, about Steelers win against Detroit. Hell yeah. Man. Cortland Sutton needs to start coming down with some of these. Defense got a good stand last time in the red zone. We're gonna need a quick 3 and out. It's got to be quick. Quick 3 and out. Denver gets the ball back and scores. Let's say they do it. Let's say it takes 5 minutes, right? A quick 3 and out takes maybe 2 minutes off the clock. That brings it down to 9 minutes. And then let's say Denver goes on a 3.5-minute touchdown drive. There would still be roughly 5 minutes to go in the game. Denver with 3 timeouts, down 7 points. So, I mean, this game is it's there for the Broncos, but only if their defense comes up with a very clutch stop here. It's coming. It's going to be about the Broncos' defense. Of course, their offense has to score, but here we go. Maybe even a turnover. That would be huge. A fumble. And 34-yard line goes down. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is having an elite day. That's why it's going to be very difficult for this defense. But we need him. 1st and 10. You're going to fake the handoff. Trevor rolling, and it's dropped. That stops the clock. Incomplete! Man, that's kind of scary because that's less about us stopping them and more about them just dropping the ball. Come on. Trevor looking to pass. Oh my God, Washington dropped it. Third and 10. Patrick Surtain fell down. Oh my gosh. So it's 3rd and 10. About 5 seconds have come off the clock. And this is exactly what they needed. Pressure. Sack! Lunch! Let's go! Let's go! And with 10 minutes to go, they're going to punt it to Denver. Wow. Four, three, two, just get it off. So 9 minutes and 35 seconds is going to be returned. Mims is going to go down at the 18-yard line. Man. Denver defensively, I mean, that's exactly what they needed. Exactly what they needed. Like you couldn't have asked for anything more than what they just got you. 2 incompletions, and then Denver getting the sack. The only bad thing about the sack was that it ran, almost a minute off the clock. But because the incompletions, they were able to still have about 9.5 minutes to go in this game. Oh, my goodness. I know what's going on. I forgot to light my candles. Where's my Spidey suit? I said, where is my Spidey? All right. Screw it. All right. Got to get touchdowns here. 1st and 10. Bo Nix looking, firing, and it's RJ Harvey who picks up 10, 20, gets all the way to Jacksonville territory. Let's go. Here we go. Denver in Jacksonville territory. Just under 9 minutes to go. Firing. Goes back to RJ Harvey. Picks up 8. Second and 2. What's up with this camera? Here we go. Come on. Come on. Oh. Come on. Incomplete. What? Picked off. Pat Bryant is not even trying to get that ball. Myers on a sweep. Gain of maybe 1. I got 4 dogs on the suicide side. I don't care about you leaving me. I got no time to try to make it right. I'll pick you up if I ever fall tight. You know that saying about bad fruit, homie? You just can't beat them. Knock it out of them. Turn to my son might have been a cheerleader, but he'll catch a body. I say it like it's nothing, but I talk like it's a hobby. Never been rich, but I've been sick and got out. Got one girl in my life now, 69. Takashi. Big third down here. Lawrence stepping away. "50-yard run by the Steelers." Maybe it's a good thing. Just like when we lost against the Giants in that Super Bowl run, it put the team in the right mindset to finish the season. I didn't like the idea of this team going into the playoffs with not losing since week 3. It sounds awesome on paper, but sometimes losing a game can make a team hungry again, make a team want to prove themselves. That's a delay of game. He didn't get it off. How? Dude, these refs, I don't understand. It's at 0 seconds, and Trevor turns and calls a timeout, and they give him the timeout. It's even weirder that I'm the only one bringing it up. Look, I'm going to take a picture of it. Four, 3, 2, 1. Where did the game go? What the heck? What just happened? Where's the game? Now. Look. Right. He's turning to call timeout. There's already 0 seconds on the play clock. He hasn't even put his fingers together yet. My God. Another drop. Catch the fucking football. How is that not caught? That could have been picked, dude. You can't tip the ball into the air in the middle of the field. You got to catch that. Gain of 2. You guys got to move a little bit faster. You guys were going faster 9 minutes ago. Oh my God, finally, somebody held on to the fucking football. Cortland, put the ball down and let's go. Yeah, he got injured on that one. Greg Newsome is down. Or Brown is slow to get up there. I thought if you're injured, you have to sit out a play. The one thing saving Denver is they have 3 timeouts, but they're going to have to score a touchdown. Wow. All right. I caught a ball. Pick up 21. Here's Nick stepping up and caught. Troy Franklin. They have 3 timeouts. They have the 2-minute warning, but they're going to need a big play. Come on, got to go faster. 2nd and 3. Bo Nix. Oh my God. At least the clock stops. And now Lewis is down in the secondary. He had Sutton. And then, man, Lil Jordan Humphrey breaks on the route and he just sits there, and Bo expects him to keep going across the field. So he throws the ball to the middle of the field. And Lil Jordan Humphrey just sitting there. Back-to-back injuries, 2 minutes, 25 seconds. 3rd and 3 for the Broncos. Nix rolling to his right. Did he? They're killing me. They're killing me. I think he stepped out before he threw it. I thought he did that. I had saw it immediately. He holds the ball. So they lose 7 yards now. Not even a catchable ball. How do you throw a ball that's not even catchable in that situation? You can tell Sean Payton not happy. He's going to be holding on Jacksonville. And the penalty stops the clock. So operates as a timeout. The penalty being declined, so it's 2nd down. So 2nd and 9. Handoff here. And This is just the worst game I've ever seen this year for them. Oh, I'm so glad we get to play on Thursday and just move on from this. I don't know who this team is, man. I don't recognize them at all. It's not my team. (17 to 22), the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I'm gonna hop over there for a second because fuck this game. How's Kenneth Gainwell doing? Wow, Gainwell, 26 points. I'm so glad because I told somebody yesterday to start Gainwell over Pickens, and Pickens had a huge game. Here's Gainwell again. Penalty. Yeah, they're showing that on the broadcast. Like, oh, look at all these teams Jacksonville's beaten. But, they also lost to the Bengals, went to overtime with the Chiefs, which is whatever, lost to the Seahawks, escaped the Raiders by 1 point. I believe Jacksonville is a good team. And I said this in the offseason, like, Trevor Lawrence is an exceptional quarterback. And watching this game, Trevor Lawrence was the best quarterback we've faced all year. Nobody even comes close. He's in his own stratosphere. He made unreal throws over and over and over. The only close second is Justin Herbert. But Liam Cohen, I said he was the best coach in this cycle. Everybody was on Ben Johnson. I said Liam Cohen is the guy, period. And the Jaguars were smart, and they were the team that gave Liam Cohen the job. And from that moment, I saw Jacksonville as winners of the AFC South. Rick still had Houston winning this division. But looking at their two schedules, I knew Houston was going to have a much tougher path to winning the division than Jacksonville. And I know, like, look, if you have a franchise quarterback, you have Brian Thomas Jr., you draft Travis Hunter, who's not even on the there. I mean, think about it. The most dynamic playmaker in the country isn't even on the team right now. Like, this isn't even the ceiling for Jacksonville. And I'm only doing it and they punt it to the 1 yard line. That's why I like Liam Cohen. He smiles with his guys. He has a good time. Ben Johnson always has this facade that he's this tough guy, and then you catch him smiling, and then he quickly he's like, no, I can't be that guy. Like you can feel you can see the internal dialogue. Liam Cohen, just a player's coach. Here's Bo throwing it, and Bryant. Exactly. He's saying right now what I've been saying all year. Maybe the Broncos needed to get punched in the mouth. I think that is absolutely true. I needed this team to lose one more game. I absolutely needed this to happen. Oh my God. Dude. Pat Bryant just got hit so hard in the head. I'm genuinely terrified for him. And Bo knows that's his fault. It's a hospital ball. How is that not a flag, but our roughing the passer that started? Yep. He is responsible for Pat Bryant. That was a scary hit. Ginger. This might be the right mirror. Just because you're the only one bringing it up doesn't mean you're wrong at all, dude. I felt way strongly multiple times and was right. We got linked. You can be here for Sunday night. Yeah, absolutely. Jacksonville's remain quietly amassed one of the best Panthers, Texans, Niners, Chiefs before they collapse. I don't think there's a before they collapse for the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs were pretty much the same team all year. That's why they lost to the Chargers. That's why they went to overtime with the Jags. I think the Jags are a better team than when they played the Chiefs earlier this year. But when you say before they collapsed, I mean they were the same team all year, and this was their first game without Mahomes. I mean, I would say today is the first game that you could say they collapsed. Like, if there was a timeline of, like, when did the Chiefs collapse, it would be December, or it would be last week when Mahomes went down. I mean, before that point, the Chiefs were still playing for even the postseason. They thought they could win out, and they had to beat the Chargers in order to do that. But I don't think, like, the Chiefs were really good early in the season, and then they became a bad team. They were erratic the first half of the season, but they exploded in the Chargers game and haven't looked back. Touchdown Steelers. If lines lose, they need Packers to lose out in order to make the playoffs. And the Packers do play the Ravens next week. Jordan Love may not be cleared. The Ravens need to win out as well. They play the Patriots tonight. And then next week, the Packers play the Vikings, which is a much tougher. Oh, Pep Ryan has the stretcher. I knew it, man. I knew this was going to happen. Can we get a thumbs up? Can we get a thumbs up? No. Oh. Just take a knee. Just take a knee. We're not. It's fine. We win their next two games, like we're the 1 seed. We just don't need another injury. Yeah, just going down. All right, that's it. Jags win. Terrible game for the Broncos. Terrible ending for the Broncos. Not a great game from Knicks. Tim Patrick looks like he just won the Super Bowl. That's cute. Broncos still have a better record than the Jaguars after this game. And East. Gosh, I'm so tired of these commercials about firebombing, and it's so dark. I've never seen any of this stuff. So what do you say when you? I don't know, because I've never seen it. There are no words. It's like, how much money are you guys spending on these commercials? It's ridiculous. Here we go.
$180 million on. And that's the team that was neck and neck with them. So it's easy to forget all that when you go into the playoffs and you win a game.
Yeah.
But I'm going to remember that. And I also think that a lot of the success they had was Liam Cohen, who was my favorite coach, and the Jaguars now have him as the head coach. Great decision. Can't say Duval, but a great hire.
Duval.
Yeah, that was terrible. I grew up there. No one's ever done that before. It was like, dude, it reminded me of when the owner of Walmart came in and was like, I want to thank Roger Goodell. And I was like, oh my gosh. Nobody told him how to say Roger Goodell.
No.
Real quick on your Uber ride from the airport, you know, maybe throw that in there at some point.
And there was a kid who got,
on pot news.
Might need some pot news to get through it.
Or a little liquid.
Fans are going to need. I'm going to start with the Colts because
Right now,
I feel like I can't do that to my fans. Like, how do I say that Anthony Richardson and issues, they were just running it with Saquon. So the decent defense, and I also have to think that. But I mean, one of the best backs in the NFL. End up with the number one award. Culture with the rookie quarterback. Miami.
All right. Talking about the Titans here. And then this should be.
Then the next year they started playoffs. And then last year was like a disaster and they fired their head coach. But we have to remember, like,
right here.
Now, Jaguars. Okay, so let's go to the Jaguars because the Jaguars, I think they're going to be good.
This is my off-season prediction.
We did see them go to the playoffs 2 years ago, and they even beat the Chargers at home because they won their division.
Yeah.
And then the next year they started 8-3. Remember, they lost their final four, the final one being the Titans to miss the playoffs. And then last year was like a disaster and they fired their head coach. But we have to remember, like, the Jaguars aren't that far removed from being relevant. And I think Liam Cohen is going to be the real deal. I'm going to let you go first because I keep taking all of the points and then handing.
They probably already
the Jags finished
kind of getting rid of
2.
your GM. Shad Khan is definitely going for a culture change, and he wants a winning culture in this facility. And those are the type of moves that you make when you want to flip the narrative on your team. You pay your corner, get that into Jaguars for 3-4.
Like, he translated. I'm watching Pop Team Jaguars. I think.
But Kyle, take it over to you for the
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
This is the part I wanted.
For the Jaguars, I think they're going to be one of the top teams. I think that they're going to be back on the map. If you've been watching, like, any of the footage coming out of Jacksonville, it's all about Travis Hunter. Nobody can guard him. Like, he translated. He's going against NFL players. They can't guard him. He's going to be a problem. And Trevor Lawrence is lucky because he's going to be able to Travis Hunter is going to be so involved in this offense. It's going to be a lot more than we thought when we were predicting. Okay, how are they going to use him? They're going to use him a lot. That's the answer. You look at even last year, like they had an 0-4 start. By week 13 with Denver's win over Cleveland, they were eliminated from the playoffs. They secured a losing record by week 11. That's how bad they were. But like week 1, they lose by 3 to the Dolphins. Week 2, they lose by 5 to the Browns. They lose by 3 to the Colts, 34-37. They lose by 4 to the Texans. They lose pretty bad to the Bears. They beat the Patriots really bad. They lose by 3 to the Packers with a last-second field goal by McManus. They lose by 5 to the Eagles. They lose 7-12 to the Vikings. Blown out by the Lions, but at that point in the season, they were eliminated. Their heart was ripped out of their chest. They move on to lose by 3 to the Texans and beat the Titans, and then lose by 7 to the Jets. The amount, lose by 5 to the Raiders, 7 to the Titans, 3 to the Colts. All of their games were within a score, besides like 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells me a lot. Jacksonville, at least they got their quarterback, because if you have your quarterback, you're going to, be in the game. Even if you're on the other side of them, they were games at least. You got a lot of 3-2, 4-point games, and Jacksonville is going to flip a ton of these with Travis Hunter. I think their coach is going to come in and they're going to have this offense rolling. I'm not saying that this is like a 13-win team, but they were 4-13 last year. I mean, they were
rough,
really bad. They were 2-8 by week 10.
Yeah.
But I think those early losses, pretty much, they had nothing to play for moving on, and they still played real close games all year long. Trevor Lawrence, he's in his 5th year. There is a lot of pressure for him to return to Pro Bowl form and show that he should have been paid all that money. But Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., that's a dynamic receiver duo.
True.
Tank Bigsby is projected to lead the backfield. He's probably going to have 1,000 yards rushing. ETN's declining. That never worked out. If I were to say in Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker, Trayvon Walker's been making big steps. Remember, he was a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
I think
a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, I think he's going to make another big step. People going against him in practice are he's so much better than he was last year. So I think he's going to give the Jags a real pass rush. Tyson Campbell at corner. They added the defense is going to, I think, struggle against high-powered offenses like they did last year. Miami, Buffalo, they struggled in those games, but I think Liam Cohen is going to at least give the offense a chance to keep up with those numbers. Whereas last year, the Jags couldn't do anything on offense. They just couldn't. This year, I think it's going to be different. I think they're going to win 10 games, and I think they're going to win the division.
Woo! Kyle's calling it. Jags are winning the AFC South. So now let's talk about the Texans, because I love that. And admittedly, I forgot about Brian Thomas Jr., which is weird because Brian Thomas Jr. was one of the better.
I just didn't want them to beat my team. But yeah, a really tough game. I'm going to take you to the end of the Lions and Steelers game, because there is a 6-point game brewing between the two. And, man, super unfortunate. Kenneth Gainwell has 21 fantasy points. He has 50 rushing yards. He has 5 catches for 78 yards and a receiving touchdown to go with it. Puka Nacua had 40 points, 12 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 225 yards receiving. I need Jamison Williams to score a touchdown to ice this game. Maybe I just needed to watch for it to happen. Here we go. 2nd and 13, 158. Oh my gosh, you got to make that catch. I don't know if it's the holiday season. I feel like we saw a lot of mediocre football today. Just a lot of, we saw quarterbacks that somehow just didn't, I don't know if they didn't show up or what happened. I mean, it's unbelievable, some of the numbers. CJ Stroud, he was able to finish with 180 passing yards, which is a miracle because he had like 90 yards in the first half. Jacoby Brissett got 203. Let's see. I put $1 on the Lions to win. $235. All right, so this is getting reviewed. Let me take you guys to, man, I keep saying it, but man, I feel like it is just such a good, it's just good that this team got knocked on their ass today. This is what they need. If they're going to win a Super Bowl, they needed to have a game where they just get the shit kicked out of them.
Sean, if you could just talk about Trevor Lawrence's game, and even though you had 5 sacks, did you think he had too much time to throw at times?
Look, he played a really good game, and so you can try to pin that down on. I'm sure we're going to look at the tape. We missed a lot of tackles in space. There was a lot of yards after the catch.
We missed a ton of tackles
that showed up. That was evident. So we'll look at it all, but we're going to have a quick week. We're going to be on to Kansas City like ASAP. So that's just how it is with this quick turnaround.
You mentioned the tackles. It feels like just a few more breakdowns kind of in the defensive passing game, recently. Is that an area of concern? Where's your concern?
Well, obviously, we'll look at the tape and sort through it. But, yeah, I think they certainly threw with more efficiency tonight than we did.
Sean, mechanically, when it comes to missed tackles, in general, what's your observation about what goes wrong?
Big 4th and 2 for the Lions here. They only have one timeout. This is the game.
We've got to look at it.
Goff firing.
They were space plays.
Incomplete.
And,
flags come in.
We just have to be better.
Flags come in.
Sean, straight back. I
10
think there were
seconds
6 pass plays
late.
over 20 yards, which is the most you've allowed all year.
That's
and 4
the
or 5
latest
touchdowns in the red
flag
zone.
I've ever
you chalk
seen.
that up as an anomaly, or is it a
The
concern?
Lions postseason was just over. In 5 seconds later,
I said this to
the
team.
ref said, not yet.
Part of this process is
That
not
is
fooling ourselves.
insane.
They beat us tonight. They beat us good in all 3 areas.
That is honestly, I
starts
don't even
with
know
me.
if that's
And
pass
so,
interference.
Even though that hurts
Yeah,
going down,
I
you
guess
can't
it
spit it
is.
out. You have to
It's
swallow
very
it. That's
close.
the truth. They beat us in all 3 areas.
Very close,
We got to
but
coach better.
it is.
We got to look at what we're doing. We got to make sure we're not doing too much, and we've got to do that
It's
all.
funny
in a
how long it took
quick turnaround
for
So
the flag to get
that's
thrown.
kind of
Like you either
how I
saw it or
saw
you
that game.
didn't. What's going on in that 5 seconds?
They beat us in all 3 areas. We got to coach better. We got to look at what we're doing. We got to make sure we're not doing too much, and we've got to do that all in a quick turnaround. So that's kind of how I saw that game.
Okay. I don't know what's happening there. Let me see the beginning. Oh my God. They just sacked off, but they're
Couple
tripping
things
on
first.
Steelers.
Obviously, disappointing loss. All the things that were important or are important to winning, we didn't do a good enough job with, and that starts with me. They were better on third downs. They won the turnover battle. They won the kicking battle. And so now we have a, short week to digest it. You can't spit it out. You got to swallow it, and that starts with every one of us. So,
did you hear that, ladies?
Sean, first thing, just quick. Is there anything you know about Pat Bryant?
He's got movement. That's encouraging. I'll get an update here, probably in the next 15 minutes. But he was moving his hands and his legs. So as we know more, we'll let you know.
Pat Bryant moving
just
his
from a
hands
bigger
and his
picture,
legs.
it's the first time you've lost in 3 months. When you talk to the team after the game, is it about?
Well, there was one message, and look, I think I said to him, one of the things you managed to do each week is get on to the next challenge. In other words, digest the win. And so I think the same thing has to apply, especially on a short week like this. You've shown the ability to digest the game before and then get on to the next challenge. And you have to do the same for a tough loss.
Coach, to your left, on the defensive side, give up a season high 34 points. What was going on? What were they doing?
The number one thing, I don't know what the third down numbers were, but I know they weren't good.
Offensively, you had some explosiveness at times. What do you look back though at? Was it just the inconsistencies? Obviously, had 2 turnovers that didn't help, and then that trick play didn't
turnovers. Look, when we ran it well, we ran it in the nickel. We had the fumble, we had the interception. Not enough to match what they were doing.
Sean, if you could just talk about Trevor Lawrence's game, and even though you had 5 sacks, did you think he had too much time to throw at times?
Look, he played a really good game, and so you can try to pin that down on. I'm sure we're going to look at the tape. We missed a lot of tackles in space. There was a lot of yards after the catch that showed up. That was evident. So. We'll look at it all, but we're going to have a quick week. We're going to be on to Kansas City like ASAP. So that's just how it is with this quick turnaround.
You mentioned the tackles. It feels like just a few more breakdowns kind of in the passing defensive
Didn't
passing
even
game.
look
Recently.
at Jameson Williams that whole
is that an area
drive.
of concern? Where's your
well,
the Steelers are going to lose
tape and sort
after
through it, but
having the game won.
Yeah, I think they certainly threw with more efficiency tonight than we did.
This is a huge penalty.
Sean, mechanically, when it comes to missed tackles, in general, what's your observation about what goes wrong?
It hadn't been a problem. I mean, look.
Pass interference on the offense, the touchdown comes back. What? How does that penalty? What are these penalties that are coming in 10 seconds? It's amazing that Jameson Williams hasn't even been looked at on this drive. Goff is only looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown. Oh my gosh. False start on the Lions. They're going to go to the 15 now. And all that time they wasted, now they only have 22 seconds to get 15 yards to score a touchdown. Once again, what is going on? Why did they wait 6 seconds to call their timeout? Okay, they had 3 seconds. All right. Here we go. Goff, shotgun, looking. Firing? Where is he throwing that ball? He's like throwing it to Jameson Williams. What is he doing? He's so lucky that's not intercepted. He just throws the ball. The season is on the line. They have 2 plays from the 9-yard line or their season's over. Goff looking, firing. Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it. It was Tesla. He had the ball. He jumped up. He grabbed it. And then as he's on his way down, it slips out. Oh my gosh. He double clutches the ball. He has it. And then he's trying to get a better grip on it. And he drops it. 8 seconds. 4th down. Season on the line. Goff looking, firing. There's a flag though. Oh my God! But he pitched it and Goff scores. I didn't hear a whistle. What is this call? Oh my God. This is the biggest call of the year. There's 0 seconds on the clock. Goff threw the ball. He was a yard short. He pitches it back to Goff. Goff gets it and runs in and scores. But there's a flag. But we don't know when the whistle blew. We don't know who the flag's on. If it's on Detroit, the game would be over because there's 0 seconds. If it's on Pittsburgh, Detroit could decline it and they have a touchdown depending on when the whistle was blown. But regardless, they would be able, crowd starting to cheer. The game just ended. Detroit loses, and they are not going to the playoffs. unless Green Bay loses to Minnesota week 18 and loses that was the craziest ending I've maybe ever seen. So Goff, if Goff doesn't take the pitch and score, the game's not over. But what isn't that the end of forward progress right there? Like, how is that not? How was the pitch even allowed? He's being pushed back. He's being pushed back. He's being pushed back. There's 3 seconds of him being tackled. Any other game, they're going to blow that as forward progress is over. The whistle blows there. And then the 4 seconds that ensue with him pitching the ball to Goff and Goff running in, those wouldn't have even counted against the clock because the play would have been blown dead with 4 or 5 seconds on the clock. So I'm actually confused. But what a win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Exactly. Aaron Rodgers said it looks like forward progress was stopped. And if forward progress was stopped, why was the pitch allowed? This is a big deal. This is a big miss. This is a big miss. And this is going to be talked about. This is going to be a big controversial thing moving forward. I mean, Aaron Rodgers saying the same thing I'm saying as just an unbiased partisan person. The forward progress was stopped, and yet Goff receives the pitch and runs it in. That burns another 5 seconds off the clock, but it should have already been blown dead, and the clock stopped at that moment. But with the penalty, there would be 5 seconds on the clock. And with the Steelers accepting the penalty, they would have had one more play. But here's the thing. If they blow the play dead and don't allow the pitch, then Detroit doesn't score a touchdown. So they could have declined the penalty, and that would have been the end of the game anyway, because they would have had no way to stop the clock. So I know Detroit fans are mad, saying, oh, they should have blown the play dead with 4 seconds. But if that would have happened, I would assume the Steelers would have just declined the penalty, and that would have been the end of the game anyway. 1 second. Oh my goodness, what an incredible game. What an incredible game. Okay, I'm going to set up for Sunday Night Football. I only got 15 minutes. Obviously, Broncos lose. Jacksonville gets a great win. Trevor Lawrence looks incredible. Jacksonville looks incredible. Good win for the fan base. I'm sure we'll see Jacksonville later in the season, meaning January. And if Denver wins their next 2 games, then that game would be in Denver. And that's just a tough place to play in today. And the team just didn't have it. For whatever reason, I don't know. They weren't tackling. They were missing open field tackles. The fumble on the RPO, Bo Nix just like putting the ball on the ground. The interception on 4th down to double covered Cortland Sutton. 4th down, turnover on downs to Cortland Sutton where the ball was just thrown out of bounds. Having to settle for field goals in the red zone. I mean, there's so many things that Denver did wrong in this game. And yet Nix threw for, over 350 yards. So you got to think like, man, if we can play like this and lose by 14 in a game where, we did awful and terrible, I like our odds when we rematch. As we know, it is very difficult to sweep a team. It's very difficult. And if Denver gets a rematch, I think Jacksonville showed us what they're going to do in that rematch. They're going to try to get the ball to Parker in space. But the bottom line is this. Trevor Lawrence played elite football today. Elite. It was the best quarterback we've faced all year. And if Jacksonville gets that version of Trevor Lawrence for the rest of the year, I mean, there's no reason Jacksonville can't make a run at the Super Bowl. So I feel like Jacksonville, they showed that they're a for real team. And I just hope whoever plays them first, if we get the first run by, I hope knocks them out so we don't have to play them. And I guess Jacksonville would play that playoff game at home unless they lose their next 2 and Houston wins their next 2. I'm not sure if Houston is still even able. I don't know if Houston is still able to week 17. If Jacksonville beats the Colts, which hopefully they won't, but probably do, and then Houston Texans. All right, let's say the Colts win next week and the Texans beat, which I've been saying all year, like the Texans Chargers game week 17 is going to be huge. If the Texans win that one and they beat the Colts week 18 and Jacksonville loses, oh my God, Jacksonville's playing the Colts and Titans to finish the year. If Jacksonville loses their next 2 games and Houston wins their next 2 games, Houston would be the number 3 seed. But if Jacksonville beats the Titans at home week 18, Jacksonville becomes the number 6 seed. And if they beat the Colts and the Titans, they could move as high as the 3 seed. Let's see. With the Chargers game, we're assuming the Chargers beat the Texans beat the Chargers, and then the Texans beat the Colts. But if the Texans lose to the Chargers in Jacksonville, okay, nothing changes. Let's see, week 18, the Broncos beat the Chargers. If the Texans beat the Chargers week 17, let's say the Ravens beat the Patriots tonight. The Texans beat the Chargers next week. The Broncos beat the Chiefs next week. And the Chargers beat the Broncos. The Broncos would become the number 2 seed. So even if, yeah, because unless the Colts beat Jacksonville next week, Denver has to win both games or Jacksonville will be the 1 seed. All right. The Chargers, if they win out, they would become the number 1 seed. If Denver's only win now out of their last 3, since there's only 2 games left, now we have to win out to get the 1 seed. It's as simple as that. So if we beat the Chiefs and the Chargers beat the Texans and then the Chargers beat the Broncos week 18, the Chargers are the 1 seed. If Houston beats the Chargers, but Jacksonville beats the Colts and then they beat the Titans and we lose to the Chargers week 18, then Jacksonville becomes the 1 seed. If the Patriots win against the Jets and Dolphins and they win tonight, then the Patriots become the 1 seed. We become the 3 seed. And we could even drop as far as a wild card team. And it wouldn't be even hard to happen. We could beat the Chiefs next week, this week on Thursday, I guess, and we could still be a wild card team if Jacksonville wins their next 2 games. And the Chargers beat the Texans next week. And then the Texans beat the Colts next week and the Chargers beat the Broncos. And the Patriots win out. Denver would be the 5 seed playing a road game against the Steelers. I mean, isn't that crazy? And if Denver loses to the Chiefs, if Denver loses to the Chiefs and loses to the Chargers, and the Texans win 1 of their last 2, the Chargers win 2 of their last 2, the Jags beat the Colts and the Titans, winning 2 of their last 2, Denver would be the number 6 seed. So, I mean, that's wild. Denver wins their next 2 games. They're the number 1 seed in the NFL. Period. If Denver loses their next 2 games, they're falling to the number 6 seed, and they don't even play a home playoff game. If the Chargers, even if they lose, or if the Chargers win out. If the Chargers win out, we're not even playing a home playoff game. I mean, that fucking sucks. If Lions lose, let's go. Jags suck. Jones shredded you guys. He did. It was just different. You're talking too much recency bias. Give me Jayville. Fraudulent. Lions just blew a chance to beat Steelers after a mess of penalties on the goal line. It can't be recency bias when I just pulled a video up of me talking about this in August. I was shouting on the rooftop. I stood on every blade of grass shouting Liam Cohen is the best head coach in this cycle. And I think Jacksonville getting him, I mean, this was my prediction. They win the division. They are a really good team, and that's exactly what's happening. So hopefully They don't play like they played today. And really, I don't even know, but the Broncos played a terrible game. But I got to close this one down. Jags get the win. Congrats to Jacksonville. Jacksonville wins against the Colts and the Titans in their next 2 games. And Denver wins their next 2 games. And the Patriots win against the Ravens, and then the Jets, and then the Dolphins. Those are really the 3 teams. Jacksonville would be the number 3 seed, and they would play the Chargers in the first round, which would be a rematch of that playoff game where Jacksonville had that crazy win, which I still go back and watch that play-by-play on the final drive. I think I think that was one of my favorite moments since starting this podcast, was that 27-0. And that was when Brandon Staley was the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yep, here it is. See, that was the playoffs. And yep, there's I Own You. Yep, here it is.
Ball is snap. Lawrence looking, finding, catching. Christian Kirk, first down. Well, I don't expect the ball to get snapped here. We're going to go to the 2-minute warning and think about they snapped the ball. What is going on? It's a great decision because they get it to the 45. I mean, the tension's so tight. NBC doesn't even hit a commercial break at the 2-minute warning. It's going to be a handoff to Etienne. Gains 4 yards, 3rd and 1. Let's see what they do here. Oh, no! Staley calling defense. Doug Peterson calling offense. They both just put their sheet down and stare at each other. And the Jacksonville Jaguars call timeout. And Trevor Lawrence under center. It's a misdirection. And Etienne, it's a beautiful play call. And oh my goodness, Jacksonville's going to win this game. And the clock is ticking. And both parties have mutually agreed that there is nothing more that they can do. The rest is up to fate. He grabs his cross. He takes it out of his jersey. Here he goes. And the kick is Jacksonville wins. Wow. Ball is snap. Lawrence looking.
So if the Broncos, Jags, and Patriots all win out, that would be a rematch of the 2021 playoffs. 27-0 comeback to win by, I think, 1 point. 28-27 was the final. I have to set up the stream here. I will see you guys on that. And by the way, if you're a Broncos fan, you're going for the Ravens tonight. So just know that and bring the energy.